What is up, guys? Patrick from Nintendo Talk here, back with a brand new discussion video. This is going to be of the Patreon variety, and this is Aaron's question. So thank you so much, man, for the continued support and the discussion question. So before I get into that, I have to mention, if you guys want to support the channel, I do have a Patreon. I will leave it in the link. It is patreon.com/Nintendo Talk. Just thought I would mention that I did add a few new rewards that include early access to the new podcast. So you would get that days and days before other people can actually listen to the audio version. So pretty cool there. The big tier, the $10 tier, is a discussion video of your choice. You don't have to do that, but I just figured I'd throw it out there for you. So Aaron asked me basically, what is this Pokemon Switch game going to be? And it's a very good question, because I feel like this is one of the subjects and one of the games that we have no clue about. And it was a little fishy when they announced it, wasn't it? It was kind of like the guy, it looked like they recorded this and then put it up right away, like 30 seconds of him talking about this game. It was a little bit comical, like, because they did, if you guys remember, they did that Pokemon presentation, and they revealed like Gold and Silver for the Virtual Console. Then they revealed the Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, which I dislike, by the way. I've mentioned this before. And yeah, and this announcement for the Pokemon Switch game happened at E3, I believe, of this year. Something like that. I don't know. And it was just this short video of the developer just saying, oh yeah, by the way, we're making a full-fledged Pokemon RPG game on the Switch. And that's pretty much all we got. And no details were announced. Even the release date, it was speculated that it was going to be next year, 2018, which I'm going to tell you right now, guys, I don't think that that's the case. Usually Pokemon games take a little bit more time to make. I think 2019 is going to be the safe spot for not only that game, but also the Metroid game. Yeah, so I think 2019 might be a very good year. Even next year is looking pretty good so far. Yoshi, Kirby, so we have some promise for the future of the Switch. Now, when it comes to this Pokemon RPG for the Switch, because we don't have a name, yeah, let's speculate a bit. Let's kind of use our noggins and figure out what this game may or may not look like. So, for starters, I think if this game does release in 2018, because there are kind of strong speculation and, there are rumors and people that truly believe that this will come out next year. The only way I see that happening is if they go with something like Pokémon Stars. And I know that Pokémon Stars is a long rumored game that never happened, but if they do make a Sun and Moon compilation game, much like Pokemon Crystal, that was the original like Gold and Silver combination game. Even Pokemon Yellow, you can kind of put into that category. You had Emerald. Yeah, so those kind of in-between games, Pokemon Stars could possibly be that Sun and Moon compilation game. You update the graphics, and there you go. There's your Pokemon game. Now that would work. I actually would enjoy that, because I did enjoy playing Moon on the 3DS. And I don't know, when I was playing this game on the 3DS, it felt like a console game to me. I'm not gonna lie. And of course the graphics are 3DS graphics. What more can you say about that? But it did feel like a console game. I don't know, just the way the presentation style was. I think it looked pretty good for 3DS graphics, but yeah, I don't know. It just feels like a console game. So I could definitely see Nintendo rehashing that and putting out Pokemon Stars as the first entry on the Switch. But, guys, here's why that won't happen. Pokemon, the company, I guess you would say, the Pokemon company isn't under pressure, okay? Because everything that they've put out has been gold. Pokemon Go alone is insane. And even still right now, in October of 2017, over a year since that game released, some call it a fad, some call it a little thing that people were once into and now it's dead. Guys, it is not dead. It is still making tons of money for Pokemon. And then you have the 3DS games, which Sun and Moon sold like gangbusters on the 3DS. And I truly believe, even though I'm not the biggest fan of the 3DS, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon are going to sell. Pokemon fans show up. They support their games and they buy them. That's straight up. They buy their games. So, why is the Pokemon Company under pressure? And are they under pressure? Now, when I think of this Switch game and I think of Pokemon on the Switch, I think that they are under a little bit of pressure. And they're kind of under the microscope a little bit because, not that if this game will succeed or fail, because I think the sales will be there no matter what. Pokemon fans are nuts. However, there is this big kind of fantasy I think that a lot of Pokemon fans have, including myself. I will just say right now I am a big fan of Pokemon Go, but I don't really like walking 8 to 10 miles a day just to play the game. I think it's clear that Pokemon fans, mostly all Pokemon fans, want that open-ended, free-roaming world where you could just kind of walk everywhere, catch Pokemon, do your thing, and I don't know if that'll work for Pokemon. I want to refer to a interview that Game Informer did with the Pokemon Company, and they didn't say anything exclusive or they didn't really break any ground. They're pretty quiet about this game, but even one of the developers said that this game wouldn't work because I'll give you the context here. They were comparing it to a Breath of the Wild, and one of the developers said, I don't know if this would work with Pokemon. Now, whether I personally agree with that developer is up in the air, because I think that Pokemon can work. Much like Breath of the Wild, I think that the strengths of Breath of the Wild were in the world itself, because it definitely wasn't heavy in story, which I'm not going to go off on that. Breath of the Wild's a great game. But Breath of the Wild shined with the animals, with the subtle breeze, with the trees, with the landscapes. And I think a Pokemon RPG game could succeed in that vein. So, I think it would work. I think if you have a giant world and you just stick to the whole idea of Pokemon, catch them all, go to gyms, battle in the Elite Four, there's definitely a structure there that can work. You put in some dungeons, you get some rare Pokemon, you kind of explore, little hidden things in the world. I think that could definitely work. But I think the Pokemon Company is under a little bit of pressure because of those kind of expectations. As a Pokemon fan, when I hear that a traditional Pokemon game is coming to the Switch, my expectations are through the roof. I want this game. I've wanted this game since I was like 5 years old. And that's the problem. Pokemon, the company, is not going to rush through this game because they rarely rush through bigger projects. It usually takes them about 3 years to fully make, develop, and put out a Pokemon game. So if you're thinking of one coming out on a console, which is going to be pretty much the debut of a console full-fledged Pokemon game, I don't think that they're going to rush it. So I think A, it's going to come out in 2019. B, I want to say it's going to be an open world, big adventure, but those are my expectations. Now, I would be completely content with a original Pokemon Red and Blue remake, but just outstanding graphics and increase the map size a little bit because we're playing on a console. I would be okay with that. I don't know if a lot of the Pokemon fans would. I'm kind of an old school Pokemon fan. I wouldn't be surprised if they develop a completely new game where you have a ton of just new, exclusive to the Switch Pokemon. I think that would be both smart and foolish at the same time because you have such a fantastic backlog of Pokemon to choose from to put in whatever world you make. I don't know if they need another generation. I'm one of the few fans who are like, Pokemon, stop. There's way too many. Give a like, guys, if you remember that there were only 150 Pokemon at one time. Now there are like, I don't even know the amount. There's just so many Pokemon. Not that that's a bad thing because I some people are into that. but it's a little overwhelming if you haven't really dove into the Pokemon franchise in a while. So I don't know, Aaron, to answer your question, man, I think it's going to be 2019, and I'm hoping and I'm expecting a full-fledged open world Pokemon game, but that structure will still be there. It won't be some random Pokemon game. You'll still have to collect badges. You'll still have to catch Pokemon. It's going to be very traditional, but it's going to be interesting to see if they kind of rehash or remake an original game, or if they make a completely original game for the Switch. Anyway, guys, thank you for my little discussion here, my little speculation. Who's hyped for Pokemon RPG on the Nintendo Switch? Because I am. Thank you so much, guys, for listening. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you think this content is rad. And I will see you later, guys.